first time looking for a duck. Hi everyone, I'm Eileen. Today I have to tell you about my super private and a little crazy thing. My first experience of looking for a duck. Don't laugh at me, listen to me slowly. I'm in my early 30s and divorced. To be honest, I have always had a strong desire for sex. Before the divorce, I didn't have to worry about it, but since the divorce, I can only solve it myself occasionally. But doing it myself can't really satisfy me. That feeling is like being hungry for a long time and only eating a small snack can't fill my stomach at all. After thinking about it, I figured out a way. I'm the HR manager in the company, and I'm responsible for screening resumes on interviewing. Guess what? I had some ideas at this time. Every time I look at resumes and interviews, I have sharp eyes. I mainly look at the man's figure and appearance and whether his age is suitable. If he suits my taste, it's like discovering a treasure. As for workability, I think it's okay as long as it's not too outrageous and doesn't affect the normal operation of the company. Let me tell you, I have had sex with several young and handsome male colleagues in the company before. You may think I'm very bold, but men in this regard are mostly like predators. As long as you are not the kind of ugly and old like an old lady, you take the initiative to propose it and say that he doesn't have to be responsible. Who can refuse such a good thing that falls from the sky? I know in my heart that this is not very authentic, but when the desire came up, I didn't care so much. For example, once I interviewed a young man named Xiao Shui. When he walked in, my eyes were straight. That tall guy had a very good body proportion with broad shoulders and a narrow waist. His face was also that kind of sunny and handsome, and he had two dimples when he smiled. He was exactly my type. I thought at the time it would be great if I could have something with him. During the interview, I was a little absent-minded, and my eyes would occasionally scan his muscular body. I deliberately asked him some easy questions, just to listen to him talk more. His voice was also very attractive. Oh, my heart was like a little rabbit jumping. After the interview, I found an excuse and asked him to stay and talk about some internal situations of the company. When everyone else left, there were only the two of us left in the office. I deliberately walked to his side, got very close, and looked at him straight in the eyes when I talked to him. I could feel that he was a little nervous. After all, I was his interviewer. I plucked up my courage and said to him directly, "Xiao Shu, I see that you have such good conditions. Are you interested in developing a different kind of relationship with me? Don't worry, you don't have to be responsible, just have fun." Guess what his reaction was? At first he widened his eyes, probably because he was shocked by my straightforward words. But after a while his eyes changed, a little hesitant and a little moved. In the end he nodded. After that we found an opportunity and made an appointment. To be honest, when I was with him for the first time, I was nervous and excited. Nervous because it was the first time I took the initiative to do this kind of thing with a colleague, and I was afraid of being discovered. Excited, of course, because of his handsome appearance and charming figure. The whole process, I felt like I was dreaming. It was very exciting. After it was over, I was quite satisfied and felt that my method was really good. But this kind of thing, once it happens for the first time, it is easy to have a second time. Later, there was another male colleague named Xiaoming who was also hired by me through an interview. He is a muscular man exuding the breath of male hormones. During the interview, when I saw the bulging muscles on his arms, I was already thinking about how to get in touch with him. I used the same trick again and talked to him alone after the interview. This time I was more direct and said, "Xiaoming, you see how much fate we have. I think you are very interesting. Do you want to do something special with me?" Xiaoming was straightforward. He smiled and said, "Manager, I actually noticed you too." Of course, I am willing. When I was with Xiaoming, it was another feeling. He was very energetic, and that kind of passion made me feel like I was back to my youth. But behind this excitement, there are actually many troubles. Every time I made an appointment with them, I had to be careful for fear of being discovered by other people in the company. In the company, I still had to pretend to be a serious manager, but I hid these secrets in my heart. Sometimes I felt really tired. Moreover, after a long time, I found that this kind of relationship seemed to have changed a bit. At first, I just wanted physical satisfaction. But later I found that I seemed to have some other feelings for these male colleagues. Take Xiao Shuai, for example. Once after we made an appointment, I looked at him and suddenly felt reluctant to let him go. I wanted to stay with him for a while. I know that this kind of feeling is dangerous. After all, we are just this special relationship, but I just can't control myself. And Zhao Ming, once he had a small problem at work, I was very anxious, more nervous than when I had a problem at work. On the one hand, I was worried that he would lose his job because of this. On the other hand, I was afraid that others would find out about our relationship and it would be disadvantageous to him. I also know that what I did was not right. From a moral perspective, I used my power and was unfair to other colleagues. From an emotional perspective, it is actually difficult for me to really have a healthy relationship with this casual behavior. But every time that desire came up, I was like being possessed by a ghost and couldn't control myself. Later, I also thought about changing the situation. I tried to attend some social activities, hoping to meet some decent men and have a normal relationship. But every time I come into contact with those strange men, I feel that they are not good enough. They are not as attractive as those young and handsome male colleagues in the company. I am really confused now and don't know what to do. I know that I can't go on like this, but I don't know how to get out of this predicament. I want to ask my family, if you encounter my situation, what will you do? Should I continue to indulge myself like this? Or is there any good way to get me back on track and find a healthy relationship that truly belongs to me? I hope everyone can give me some advice. I really need your help now. Welcome everyone to leave a message to discuss. We will talk again next time. Bye.